So debt coverage ratio is another term. Debt service coverage ratio, DCSR. In the old days, we used to just call it DCR, debt coverage ratio. Again, basic stuff for some of you. Some of you don't really, I've talked to seasoned people that don't really understand the power of this, right? So that is my NOI divided by my annual debt payments. Does the annual debt payments include principal? Yes, it does. If you have an interest-only loan, it will skew your debt service coverage ratio phenomenally. So just know that act as if you were paying. Use some sort of an amortization time frame, whether it's 25 years or 30 years, to know what your real rate is. Okay, but that is what banks use, and we'll talk about that. Banks will use this info to determine if they loan and what they loan on a project. That is very important. They tend to favor like a 1.25 ratio. And just to put it into perspective, that means for every $1.25 that comes in on this business, this apartment complex in our example, it's costing me $1. That's what they want to see. When times are good, I would never do it, but myself personally, but they will loan on 1.1. Your construction projects, and I'm going to go a little bit in the weeds. We'll talk more about this on our bonus section. But on a construction loan, let's say hypothetically you get a bridge debt, and bridge debt resets sometimes. The time frame is different, but I'm going to use a 1 year as an example. If you don't read the fine print of the loan, it will reset in 12 months. Most of the time, it's 12 to 18 months, maybe 24. And you have to have, and for those of you that don't know, if I'm getting a bridge loan, it's because my project will not support this 1.25. I can't get traditional financing because it's a value add. Maybe it's new construction. Maybe it's something that's 40% occupied. Maybe it's something that just needs renovations, and I decided to do a construction loan because it made sense financially. Well, they have a time frame. Usually the fuse is lit when you close the loan, and they have a time frame. And if you don't have the debt coverage ratio up to a certain amount, then you will owe the bank the difference to give them a feeling of safety. For instance, if you don't at least have it to a 1 on a certain loan amount by the drop dead date, then they want you to cover the difference. Whatever it is that you're low, whatever dollar amount that represents, that could be expensive, guys. That could be $1 million. That could be $500,000. That could be $300,000. And you probably have it from money that you've raised from your investors, but it's a whole lot nicer to put that into the property like you had planned than to give it to the bank because you didn't hit your goals. So always know about that reset. Always know about debt coverage ratio on a construction loan. That is an added bonus, was not in my notes, but just something that you should be aware of. But the main goal here is to just talk about debt coverage ratio and the importance of understanding it.